Shut up.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live. I am Chris Page, and that man is the gimmicky one from the Netherlands. He is just a gimmicky goth, and it is a Saturday here in the States. It is the 13th of June. Do not adjust your screens. While we're normally not live at 10 a.m., we're usually wrapping up. We're going live now because we got a fantastic conversation coming in just a few minutes. Goth, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I mean, you gave me a couple of hours extra rest, so I'm ready to go. And like you said, we got a great conversation coming, so I'm looking forward to this one.
I am too. It's going to be a fantastic chat as soon as we get our guest in just a moment, Goth. But before we do, you know what's on the horizons for us. It's going down on July the 11th. We are less than a month away from Chapter 6. It is built on business, and it is going down in Castleberry, Florida. Goth, we've announced 3 matches thus far, and they are all first-time evers on the scene, not only in Florida, in professional wrestling, period. Of course, I'm talking about Firestarter Pro Heavyweight Champion, the top of the food chain, Blade Brown, coming to Florida, not only making his live event debut with us, his Florida debut, as well as he is taking on the Grand Marshal of the Spandex Parade, Mikey Spandex. And if that was not big enough, how about this one right here? How about Matthias, Southern Cal Pro Heavyweight Champion, has been SoCal Pro Heavyweight Champion for the last year, coming to Florida. Will be in the house making his Florida debut, and we had him at Chapter 3. He's made some statements already. He's going to be taking on Terry Kidd, the smooth operator, if you will, in a first time ever as well. And if that one wasn't enough for you guys to wet your whistles on, this guy right here, the CCP Podcasting Heavyweight Championship is on the line as from the National Wrestling Alliance. He's big, he's strong, he is Mims, he is defending against the Victory Rumble winner, Rocco, for the first time ever. These are just 3 of what's going to be a 9 to 10 match show, guys. And I'm telling you, 75% of these are first time evers. It's going to be a fantastic event. What are you thinking, Goth, as we inch closer to Chapter 6, Built on Business?
I'm looking forward to this one. It's like 3 matches already that's been announced. All 3 of them are first time in one way or another. It's amazing. I'm looking forward to see Blake Brown, to be honest. I love to see every single match that we have been announced, and there are some good ones that we haven't announced yet, so stay tuned, keep our socials intact, and just buy your tickets for the 11th of next month.
You can get them at ccppodcasting.com. Huge shout out to Sponge and the song for Chapter 6, Plowed, of course, and it is going to be a fantastic show. It is going to be great. Again, guys, tickets are available right now at ccppodcasting.com. Do your part. Go over there and show your support because we've got a big one coming. And it's only getting bigger and better from here. Mark my words. Speaking of bigger and better, it is a segue to get into our show today because, you know, I've been looking forward to having this conversation for a long time. And when I say that, I mean that wholeheartedly. It is, it's one of these, our guest today is one of these guys that we came across just randomly through the Africa Wrestling Alliance. And we've been able to build a really good relationship with this company as we have grown and they have grown. What started as just randomly throwing on something, we got drew in. And at the point in time, there was a really good story that was going on, and we'll get to it in just a few minutes. I cannot wait for you guys to be introduced to this gentleman. If you have not seen him on our programs before, this is going to be a great conversation. Let's bring him on in. He is the current light heavyweight champion of the Africa Wrestling Alliance. I'm talking about the man, the Rebel JSK. Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live, sir. It's good to have you.
So great to be here. What's up, man?
Oh, it's
I'm overjoyed.
It's going to be a fun conversation. I know, you know, again, I've been waiting for this one. Anytime I can get a chance to talk to any one of you guys down there, it's just to me, it's a great time. because I put the AWA for me, and if you probably don't know this, but our platform started in Australia. It was that's where it began. So Australia is very near and dear. AWA in South Africa is right there with Australia to me because it was another one of the international companies
Yeah.
that hugged us back off rip. No questions asked, no paying dues, no nothing. It was, oh, you want to watch our stuff? Absolutely. Let's go right ahead. And not only the company, the roster as well. So that tells me that you guys appreciate what we're trying to do. And in a world where intentions may not always be the best, you guys did not question. It was, when are you watching next, or what can we do to help, or et cetera, et cetera. So to get you guys in here, it's fantastic. And obviously we've watched your journey over the last year and a half or so, but that is really just the last year and a half or so. There's a lot more to you, and that's what these conversations are all about. It's all about getting to know more about you, introducing you to our platform and our audience, because like we are deeply connected across the world, and there are opportunities to create for guys like you that do really enjoy what you're doing, and this is going to be fantastic. Before we get started, Goth, officially, you're talking to the champ. The champ is here.
Just
Thank you.
give
Thank you,
my
God.
respect to the champ. I mean, like you said, like a 1.5 year ago, we stumbled on it down the rabbit hole, picked some matches from Africa Wrestling Alliance, and since then just skyrocketed to the top, and it's only getting better and better. I mean, we watched some great talented wrestlers like Johnny Palazzio, The Takeover, Jan de Skaboer, stuff like that, and we also watched a tag team with the Rebel JSK in it, and I'm so excited that we finally got the opportunity to talk to each other. So thank you for being here. Welcome to the show, and let's make it a good one.
Oh, thanks, God. It's just a pleasure.
We're definitely gonna
It's
make
a
it a
pleasure
good
all
one.
ours.
Real quick, over in chat, let me go ahead and say some hellos. Dog Mama, I see you over on Twitch. I see Shannon, what's happening? I see some more folks loading in across all of our platforms. If you're on X, if you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, welcome to the show. If it's your first time here,
Welcome.
if you have any questions, drop them in chat.
Welcome.
We will get them worked in throughout the course of the conversation. But in the meantime, this is where we kick it off, my man. I always ask everybody starting off rip, fandom, it starts somewhere, and it is initially what draws us into professional wrestling. Where does yours begin? Where does wrestling intersect with you? How old were you at the time? What was going on? Give me the story on how professional wrestling enters your life.
Okay. So my late memory, or first memory of professional wrestling was back in 2006. I think I was 5 years old at the time. The match, or the show I watched was SmackDown, and the match I saw was Rey Mysterio versus the Great Khali. I think it was the Great Khali's debut match. Yeah, and seeing Rey Mysterio, seeing this small little guy going against this larger than life dude, it was just incredible, and it just hooked me. And that's where I started loving wrestling.
I had to mute my microphone real quick because my dog started barking, and it was not a good scene. The Great Khali. So I was never a big fan of Khali's. He was a big dude, but I just wasn't my cup of tea and wasn't my flavor. However, Rey Mysterio, bro, don't get me started on Mysterio. In the late 90s was when I came across Mysterio, and that was through WCW, right? Did not know. I was like 16 at the time, maybe 15, 16. Did not know like that there was pre WCW Mysterio until well after the fact, and went back and watched his Triple A. Oh my God, that guy was and is still incredible out there doing his thing today, and is still making some headway and making some waves. Mysterio was always the ultimate underdog, and it made it so much easier to get behind him. And I think I remember the match with Khali. Was that the one where he put the vice on him and put him out with it? And Like,
That was one of the memories I can. That was one of the things I can remember because, like, seeing this big guy with these huge hands crushing this small guy's head and seeing the blood coming out, and that was like this. I had nightmares of that for a couple of days. Not gonna lie.
well, Collie scares me too,
Uh,
but for other reasons. I just at this point though, I'll just run away. He'll never catch me, and I'm a bigger dude too, so I think I've got a one up on that. I love the fact that's where it draws you in, and obviously in South Africa, you know, the wrestling scene, just based off of conversations that I have had with Palazzio and several other people off the air, like it's really grown over the last maybe 10 years or so. So when does the fandom really start to maybe transition into I really want to try to do this. I really want to try and get involved. And how was your process with getting into training? So if fandom started at 5, where does all this intersect with you as far as timeline with your age at the time and then figuring out how to get into the scene? What's that look like?
Okay, so what I can think of on top of my head I think it's 2012. Yeah, 2012 was the first time I ever saw an AWA wrestling show. And seeing guys like Johnny Palazzio and Sean Kuhn and these guys just coming out larger than life characters, showing off their incredible talent. My dad took me for my first show, and I looked at him and I told him, Daddy, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. And he told me, give me just a couple of years, and you will get there. So I was, I think, 11 years old at that time. But after a couple of years, let's say at the age of 16, he found AWA again for me and asked Uncle Sean, contact Uncle Sean basically, and asked him to give me a chance. And I think that's where I started. Actually, I think I met Johnny Palazzio um, a few days after my dad contacted him. And he looked at me and he said, do you really want to do this? And I said, yes. And the first thing he did was give me a broom. And he told me to go sweep the ring. And I thought to myself, sweep the ring? Is that what like wrestlers do when they first come into this business? And he was like, yeah. And at the time, I didn't understand, but I still did it because I really wanted to get into AWA. So I swept the ring and I started my training, I think in 2017. And at the time, I was leaving high school, I think, because like I was um, very involved with rebellious deeds, like let me say it like that, as a delinquent. Um, uh, when I first came over, so when I started, my first couple of weeks was rough because like I didn't trust the words of adults because I've been let down back in high school due to my parents not listening to me and stuff like that, not being able to sorry, this is a very sensitive topic for me because
Sure.
like I went through a deep dark time during that time. Um, Not having people listen to me as a young kid changes me how I listen to other people outside of my parents. And um, training during that time was rough because he wanted me to actually hurt myself, and I thought to myself, I'm already hurting myself internally. Why do I have to do all this stuff? And he said, and Johnny Palazzio came to me and said, I can see that you really want to do this, but there is something that's holding you back. And he said, if you are ready to actually listen and you know take this seriously, uh, take some time and go find yourself. And that's what I did. I took 2 years off. I think in 2019, I rejoined with them, and that's where I actually found the what you call the motivation and the the actual, what you call it, I can't come to the word. Um, let's just say from the I found the motivation to be a professional wrestler. Sorry, and what else? Yeah, I think that's where everything started for me. Like it was rough at the beginning, but I regained my senses, started training, started studying again, and yeah,
Well, you can never. All
and
right, so I want to say this. Yeah, I don't know what transpired or what happened. I just know that it was obviously a deep thing for you. But at that point in time, you have two options. You could have walked away and quit and said no,
Mhm.
I'm good, or
Sorry.
you could have went out and bettered yourself and beat the situation at that point in time that you were facing. So I don't I'll share my experiences. I got out of professional wrestling in 2006 because I fell into the dark side of professional wrestling. I got strung out on cocaine and was drinking a lot, and I was not in the best of places. I OD'd in a hotel room while I was on the road traveling. I was traveling with three other guys, and I woke up by myself 7 hours later. I got left in a hotel to die. And at the end of the day, that was my wake up call, right? Like that was I am going to die and I'm going to end up killing myself because I'm invested too much into the party life or the shit that you shouldn't be getting involved in at such a young age. And at that point, I was 24, 25 when I walked away completely. But I had to make a choice. I had to figure out, am I going to beat this thing or am I going to let it consume me? And I commend you for taking the time that you needed, right, to deal with whatever situation that was there for you in your personal life. Palazzio was right. If you don't get into this level headed and you're not 100% toned in or locked in, wrestling is a very dangerous place to be because a fraction of an inch one way or another can break a neck on a landing, and one way or another, like, you've really got to be perfect. It's got to be as perfect as possible because you can hurt people. So you come back, and you came back in 2019. The pandemic is not too far away from there. So jumping back in and then everything shutting back down, if you will, uh, how did that affect you? Because you found yourself, you're back. Now we got to shut down again for a year or two, and it just kind of postpones the growth, if you will. When you did get back into it, so before everything shut down, I always do like to know strengths and weaknesses. I like to know, like, what did you connect with pretty easily when it came to the training aspect of it, and on the backside of that, what is some stuff that was like reality check? We got to work on this.
All right. So me and my family had COVID during that time, and not knowing a lot about the human body and the limitations of the human body made me think um, that if I can actually teach or learn myself all these limitations and maybe improve on it, I can keep my family very healthy and safe. So after we got tested and got cleared from COVID, I decided that I want to restudy. So I went to go and find an institution called ETA. Now ETA is a college based here in Cape Town, where they teach personal trainers, fitness instructors, sports massage therapists. They give us information or teach us skills like athlete analyzation, athlete development, and thanks to them, I get to use that information and actually build myself with the knowledge that I can actually build myself as an athlete, physically, mentally, and financially. So after COVID was done, I went back, I think, in 2023. And that's when I also started at ETA. And they helped me a lot, getting out of that dark place, starting to get healthy, starting to exercise, starting to train, getting into the right mindset. Because, like you said, professional wrestling is a dangerous sport. Anything can happen, and I just needed to get my mind right, as in, you know, learn like playing, getting along with other people. That was the whole thing for me, is try and just letting people enjoy my space or my environment.
Well, I'm glad that with every negative, there's always positive, and taking the opportunity to better yourself is something that I will never look past out of anybody in any way, shape, or form. And I think that you taking that step is huge, and the fact that it helped you along the way is even better. Goth, let me come around to you. What do you have so far off of what you've heard?
First of all, I'd just say I have much respect for you, for what you've gone through, and that you all constantly found something positive to just get you out of the situation. I know that's something that a lot of people have problems with. So shout out to you. And I also think it's very positive that you went to the ATA and got yourself a study, got you something that you can fall back on if the wrestling may not work. Thank God it does. So I'm just curious, when you started training and started doing your first workouts, like what was your who was your trainer, and what was the first thing that you were taught to be as a wrestler and look out for and stuff like that?
So I think my trainer at that time, well, ETA is called Exercise Teachers Academy. They teach us only like the biomechanics on how to train someone.
Mm.
My first, I think, wrestling coach was Johnny Palazzio. What was sorry? What was your question again? I got lost there for a
What
second.
you? No, that's a problem. I asked what was his the first thing that he taught you and to look for to when you step into the ring. What was his first lesson?
His first lesson to me was always be safe and think of your opponent. Make sure that your opponent trust you, and make sure that you don't do something that you and your opponent didn't agree on. I think, and yeah, that I think that is it. Yeah, just trust your opponent.
Well, you kind of have to. You got to
Uh,
put faith
mm,
in the people that you're working with. If you can't trust who you're in the ring with, then you probably don't need to be in the ring with them. That's what my philosophy was back in the day. My hardest lesson, I've told this story several times, especially more so over the last several shows, is because I think it's funny now. When I walked into training day one, I was the first guy there. I was 17. And I said, "Hey man, can I go in there and fall?" And he was like, "Can I go, fall on the mat?" And he was like, "Yeah, don't do anything stupid." And at that point, I don't know what stupid is yet. So what did I do? I backed all the way up into the corner, and I ran out as fast as I could to the middle of the ring, jumped up as high as I could, and did almost like a back bump and smacked my head on the mat. And he, I went, "Ow." He says, "Well, what did you learn from that?" I said, "Not to fucking do that again." Because that was wild. That was my reality check. That was like, this whole time I'm watching, right? And I'm not really mentally or physically interpreting when these guys fall. What does that look like? How does that feel? what does that send through your body? Because the ring is a very dangerous place if you don't know what you're doing. And it definitely woke me up. And with the AWA, let's talk a little bit about Johnny Palazzio for a minute, because first of all, Nikki Vex in chat. Shout out, Nikki. I see you. My bad. Just now saw that. She is here, and it looks like we've got Koopman in the house as well. Done, JSK. So there's a lot. Let's talk about Johnny Palazzio for a minute, because everybody that comes on, obviously, Johnny is I would consider him a legend in the scene down there, and to be able to get under that learning tree at such a young age, and him really being there from day one for you, and kind of, getting you on the right track to, first of all, fix the problems that you had going on from day one, and then coming back and circling back around, and he's still there and he's still welcoming with open arms. Let's talk about him and just learning from him, and what does he mean to you for the scene in South Africa?
Well, to me and a lot of people, he means the world to us. I mean, without Johnny Palazzio and Uncle Sean, there wouldn't be an AWA. Without Johnny Palazzio, we wouldn't have the comedy. I can't come to that word. Uh, the what you call it, the brotherhood that we have in the locker room right now. I mean, like he's a he's the pivotal reason. Oh wait, a pivotal reason why AWA is such a great locker room to be a part of.
Goth, let me come around to you, man.
That's amazing. I know that we've had a conversation with Johnny a couple of times, and he did mention it, what he had to change about the company to move forward, and to see how everybody else speaks with utmost respect for him and Sean Kuhn. That's incredible, and I hope that they will keep on doing this for a long time, and bring back even more talented wrestlers. I'm just curious. So, how long did it take for you to learning from Johnny and Sean for to the point that you actually had your first match?
Uh, so I think for about 6 months, they really put me through the ringer. I mean, when it comes to building myself physically and enduring the training that they give, it it was it wasn't easy. It took a lot in me to actually show them that I had what it takes to get into the ring.
Why do you think that? Why do you think, was it with size or just youth, or was what do you think?
I think it was mentality. Yeah,
Mentality?
my
Okay.
mentality was right. I'm just fully focused on just building the product that is AWA, not just building the product that is JSK.
Well, with JSK, before we even get to debuts and what did that look like, you got to start thinking about presentation. You got to start thinking about,
Hmm.
what are you going to put out there, and really, what are you selling? Because we're all selling something when we're in front of the camera and we're in front of the crowd. It's that character. It is the representation that you're putting out there. Let's start talking a little bit about that. What, when you're putting the pieces together to who the Rebel JSK is, what does that look like for you, and what was that process like?
So for me, the process was, I think, slow. Why I say so is because it took me being with somebody else to actually build that confidence or that character that is the Rebel JSK. Um, um, I think when they placed me with Romeo Valentino, that gave me a good enough time to actually build that character.
That's where we came in when we started watching. You guys were teaming together, and then a turn happens, and I see all
Mm.
this stuff going down, and you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna go there right now. I want to see JSK versus Romeo Valentino. And I don't give two shits about a weight class. I don't care. We have got to make this match happen. It's got to be there, and it's got to. Man, if Johnny, Sean, if I have to come to South Africa and do a show myself under your banner, and y'all don't book it, I fucking am. There it is. I gotta see it. I have wanted to see that since that thing happened, bro. Since it happened, I was like, "Oh, this is where we're going. This is gonna be good," because you guys drew us in, right? And it was character work, and
Mm.
it was the presentation of you guys collectively in the ring, and obviously once we bite, you know, you've got us hooked, right? Like that's what professional wrestling is. You've got to make the crowd, you've got to make the people watching you want to see you again. And what we've been able to do is from all points of the world, when we throw on a random show, we're watching, we're enjoying it, but we're also seeing who connects with us as fans on that fandom level. And like what's so cool about having so many co-hosts that we have is they all like different things. Like so like somebody may draw me in you know, on a show and two or three other guys may draw Goth in on the show. Right? So now you're catering to different people in different markets and different areas, and it's so fucking great to see. When you let me backtrack because I've already said my soapbox about the Valentino stuff. We're gonna make that match happen. It will fucking happen. Um, Making your debut and getting the call, right? Like to finally the work is paid off. Well, they think you're ready. Day of, what's going through your mind, and walk me through the debut because you only get one of those. And I'm a firm believer that every debut is special. And for me, being able to travel here in the States and go see a lot of our affiliates, I don't ever know when I'm going to pop up on a debut, but I always tell the people when it happens, especially if I'm there, I always tell them we're connected for life. And they look at me confused for a minute and they're like, well, wait, why? I was like, because I was here. You know, people can watch it all day online or wherever the content's out there, but those that are in the audience physically when it happens, you get one. And I'm a firm believer that they're all special. So walk me through your debut and, you know, emotions that you may have been feeling. You know, how did everything go? Who's the opponent? Let's get the story of your initial debut.
Okay, so my initial debut, on camera debut, was I think on the 5th of December 2023. It was the Coca-Cola Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
I was in the 30-man Coca-Cola Battle Royal, and that was the only part I played. I think I came out with Romeo Valentino for the first time ever. So the emotions was high. I was super excited. I mean, seeing these guys from a 12-year-old perspective, it was just amazing. And now being part of them was just even more awesome. Like that's the only word I can describe on how I felt. It was just an awesome feeling, just being there, being in that moment, being in the ring with them. Um, when I went out for my Battle Royal debut, that emotion is pretty hard to describe because when I was behind the curtain, I used to be a very big 2K or professional wrestling gaming fan. So I always used to play career mode, and going through the curtain was just like going through the game's curtain. I mean, like it was just unreal. It was like I'm playing my own 2K in real life. Um, yeah, the emotions was just happiness, just overjoyed, just giddy. Got into the ring. They told me to listen to the seniors. You will be protected. That wasn't the case. I wasn't protected. I got all the shots, got all the body slams, got all of that, got thrown out. Just had a good night overall. And I think my in-ring debut, where I actually had a match, was I think the beginning of 2024. I think March 2024. Yeah, March 24th, 2024. It was me and Romeo versus Jay Cooper and Wilfred McFish.
Yes.
Um,
mhm.
yeah, yeah. Going against Jay, locking up with Jay for the first time was one of the best feelings I could ever have. And in the moment, I didn't know that it was gonna be so emotional. But when I got to it, it just felt real. It was like I'm here. It's just time to work. You know what I mean?
That's the moment that a switch flipped for you. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah,
And you know, unless you're in the ring and you've been in the ring, you don't know what that feels like. And that's usually a question that I'll ask at some point is like, when does that switch flip? But That's one of those that you know where you're at, and I love the fact that you mentioned Jay. And Jay's obviously been on Beyond the Bell. We had him on a while back, and I love the chemistry that you two have together, and with the way that you work. And I'll keep it 100. When when you and him were booked one on one, like internally, that was my main event. I have no
Oh yeah.
problem in saying it, because I was so eager to see the one-on-one encounter and eager to see what you two could put together, because you're both hella talented. You really are. And you're doing some phenomenal stuff for the scene in general in South Africa. And it's a first time. Like, it's a first time one-on-one, much like a debut. You only get one of those, much like winning a championship. While some people look at a championship as a prop, I looked at it as, this company is investing in me. They're
Yeah.
believing in me. So, like, you can think about whatever the fuck you want to, but this company thinks that I have an ability to draw and to put some asses in seats, and that's the name of the
Mhm.
game. So let's talk a little bit deeper about the relationship with Jay Cooper, because I love that guy. I thought we had a great conversation. I think that he is a fantastic dude, and knowing that moment that it all clicked started with that lockup with him makes this that much sweeter to me as a fan and wanting to learn more. So let's talk a little bit more about the Jay Cooper, and what you guys are putting together.
I mean, Jay Cooper is just an amazing guy. When we initially locked up for the first time one on one, what most people don't know is we both uh, came into that match with injuries. He had a left shoulder injury, I had a right shoulder injury. Mm, I think also when we went, there was normally when you are having a match with an opponent, you guys would train together for the first few weeks or something like that, or you guys would have a conversation. That wasn't the case with me and Jay Cooper. When we came the night of the show, we had a brief conversation, say like 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and we just went out there and try and take all what everything that Uncle Sean and Johnny Palazzio taught us and just go with it and actually make something special with what we have, because this is going to be our first ever lock up, first ever scene, and this is my first ever match with the belt. So it's so special in a way to say that locking up with him was just magical. Yeah, that's what I can say. It's like Joey Cooper is an amazing competitor. It's like without him, remember he was also the senior in that match, so he had to control most of that match. But within a match frame or in a match environment, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and there were things that went wrong, and I feel like the professionalism that he showed was amazing, and he just made me actually like step up as a pro wrestler, because I during the point of a match of our match, he was actually knocked out, so I had to take over in the middle, I think, of our match, and he he actually made me feel actually overjoyed during that, because now he trusted me to do something that not most people do, and that is actually protect him and make him look like $1 million.
Mhm. I my take, when I was active, I was a heel, so it's a little different here. Not necessarily, you obviously listen to your veterans and your seniors, but heels call the matches over here, and always have. And what I would do, again, I started at 17, I got hot at 19, and I stayed hot until I left. And it was a local traveling scene. It wasn't local. It was all over the southwest here, southeast here in the states. Um, what I would do is I would always get these guys that were really overeager and be like, "Hey, I want to do this. We're gonna do this. Can we do this? This, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H." I'm from a different mentality. I'm from the old school mentality. You called it in the ring, period. You listen to the crowd. And I would always tell these guys, no, I'm going to listen to the audience. And if the audience tells me, then yeah, absolutely, we'll call it. We'll do it. But if it's not there, I'm not about to force anything. And I say that to say, when you mention the Coca-Cola Battle Royal, I haven't wrestled in 21 years, a little over 21 years. I made my return in our battle royal at Chapter 5 and got into the ring and punched a dude in the face who had it coming. And so I now have a battle royal moment that I can share with people just like that. Now, going back to Jay Cooper, I do think that, we did watch the match back. And yeah, there was a situation that went down. But what we liked about it, first of all, I don't like anybody getting hurt, but I like the recovery aspect of it. And what I do know is that there will be another opportunity down the line to see this match happen.
Mhm.
And when
Definitely.
it does, look the fuck out. Like, just look out, because it's going to be great. And something that we should have touched on before we even got into that story, man, is winning the championship and getting that opportunity. The company is coming to you now and saying, like, let's, for those out there, if you're not familiar, and I have no problems in saying this, and if anybody has a problem with it, fuck off, it's my channel. I think the AWA is the Fed in South Africa. I mean, there's a lot of companies, there's some companies that are out there, no doubt about it. I think the AWA is the premier, right? Like, on the continent. So this is, to me, the company is coming to you and saying, and by the way, 3 years deep at this point, maybe 2.5, when this thing happens, we're going to go with you. And I know that Jay was a champion. I think he got injured and had to vacate the championship. So something has to be done here. And you're the guy. And they come to you and say, it's your time. We're about to see what this looks like. Walk me through that, in that conversation that was had about that, and how did it make you feel? Because to me, anytime a company says, "Hey, we're going with you," it makes me feel like I've done my fucking job, because at the end of the day, I'm doing something right. And then the moment it happens, let's get it from your perspective.
Okay, so I don't actually want to pull back the curtain too much because this is still pro wrestling, and um, so when they approached me, we were just talking about the layout of the match and how they wanted us to start, how the middle should be, and how the ending should be. When it came to when they have to explain the ending, we asked who was winning, and Sean Kuhn said, "You." I asked who was winning, and he said you. And I looked at him with open eyes because, like, I didn't expect that. This is like, I mean, Banner the Wolf at the time who was the champ, the lightweight champ. The champion, Jay Cooper, vacated, was the cruiserweight
Ah,
champion.
okay. See,
Um,
two light, heavyweight, and
yeah,
cruiserweight's the same
so
fucking thing here.
No.
yeah, yeah. So when they told us you are taking the belt, I was overjoyed. I didn't know what to say at that time because all I could think about is don't mess up, don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, well, you didn't. So you won the
No.
title. I love that. I love that it happened. I remember popping hard for it when I watched it back, because I will always catch AWA shows when they come out. Like, I try
Oh
to,
yeah.
and even if I don't see something for a hot minute, and bear in mind, I'm a very busy guy. We have a lot of things going on the channel. We have a lot of things going on behind the scenes and in front of the cameras. Like, this is a job. This isn't, I'm not gonna call it a job because it's fun, but it's a labor of love, if you will. Even if I don't see something, I typically know that the AWA does something every 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. So if I don't see something for a minute, man, I'll just go over to the YouTube page and see if I've missed something. And it happened, and we missed a show. And I got on the horn, I think with JB, because we were doing something on a Monday night, and I was like, no, we're not. We're doing this. Like, I found it that day, and I was like, no, we're watching this. This is what we're doing. And that's a testament to you guys. Not just you. The roster that is there is sorely underrated. in my opinion. You've got yourself, you've got Jay Cooper, the Takeover, Werner Porteous, if I fucked his name up, it's all right. Wilfred
Darren Pretorius.
McFish, like who Freak Show, Revy. Like, I mean, there's
Jan
so
Skapu.
many pieces of
Yeah.
really cool talent here that just need to be seen at the end of the day. And my question that I'm going to segue to is, from your perspective over the last several years, the growth of the scene down there. How has that been for you? What's from your eyes? What have you seen grow the most within professional wrestling within the AWA?
Well, for me, it was generally the fans. I also stopped watching AWA, I think, for a couple of years. And when I came back, when I started watching the live streams again, I felt overjoyed. And from my perspective, it's it is just I can't come to the word now. Uh, uh, I'm freezing here for
You're
this
fine.
one. Can you
Yeah, yeah. No,
can you
what your
I
opinion
couldn't hear
on the overall growth of the scene there? What how
growth.
has it grown?
Growth when it comes to the audience, it has grown exponentially. When it comes to um, just getting the eyes on us, I think the production team, how they have helped us grow also as well. I mean, the 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 comedy that we have in the AWA, that actually builds more. I think the respect of other people. The people started seeing the product and they felt like, okay, this is awesome. This is something that we should look at. I've actually tried and get other teams to look at AWA. So getting sponsors and getting guys like Coca-Cola or guys like this other, I can't remember what his name was, but he was like a real estate agent. Getting him to invest in AWA, that was awesome as well. Because like he got a lot of eyes for us. Um, I think yeah, that is basically it.
Goth, let me come around to you, my man. Actually, hang on real quick before I do. Go ahead and get your question ready. I want to go over to chat real quick because there's some folks that have dropped in some messages. I want to make sure I hit them all. 5-1 Steph, big ups JSK. 100 so fast the camera shutters, couldn't keep up. Alana Adams, great stuff. Nikki Vex, JSK and Coop matches always have me on the edge of my seat. JB from No Game Unturned, who is the more dynamic opponent, Jay Cooper or Werner? The answer is probably both, is what he's saying. So, from your perspective, who's more dynamic as an opponent? Is it Cooper or is it Werner?
I would say Cooper.
Yeah.
Why? The guy just has it. I don't know what it is, but he just has it.
I ain't mad at that answer at all. Goth, go ahead, buddy. The floor's yours.
I think you can't go wrong with either of these two. So it's a great answer. I want to just focus a little bit back to the whole situation with you and Romeo Valentino, because I was a little bit when it all happened with the breakup. I was a little bit conflicted because I loved the tag team that you two were having, and me and Chris are a big time tag team. Seeing how things have evolved with you as now as being a singles champion, I think it only has only increased your stock as a wrestler. And I was just wondering, when you got into the wrestling, were you always wanted to be like a singles wrestler, or did you also enjoy being a tag team wrestler? Because uh, with the takeover being so dominant, I could have seen like down the road you two facing them for the tag titles. So how do you feel about being a tag team wrestler, and how do you feel about being a singles wrestler?
Well, being a tag team wrestler is actually kind of more comfortable because you have an opponent that can do some of the work, especially if he's a senior.
Mm-hmm.
For me, being in a tag team with Romeo, now Romeo as a person is a great guy, but Romeo, the professional wrestler, he is an asshole.
Yeah, I
Um,
know.
I mean, this I agree with you. Like, I was also like heartbroken when he did what he did, and that is turn on me. And
Mm-hmm.
I felt like if we had stayed together, we would have been in the match with Takeover, and we would have became the first ever AWA Tag Team Champions. But unfortunately, he felt like I was just going too fast
Mm-hmm.
and pulled the trigger and said, "All right, you do your thing, I do my thing, and we'll see who does it better." And to me, it looks like we both did extremely well when we broke up because like now he became the cruiserweight champion and now I'm the AWA lightweight champion.
I can see it down the road, champion versus champion somehow. See who's the better champion of the
I'm here
two.
for it.
Um,
AWA, yes.
oh, yeah, book it. But I'm also curious with the whole rise that you're going, and obviously the fans are now solidly behind you. How does it feel to just being like one of the bigger baby faces in the company right now and being an upcoming situation because we have a lot of veterans out there and you're one of the younger stars. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel like there's a lot of responsibility being thrown at me, but it's not something I am a stranger to. I am very, very keen on, building the product, which is AWA as a babyface, and seeing these people, you know, being behind me is just a dream come true because like I've loved this business for what uh all my life
Mm-hmm.
and just being part of it and seeing that these people can get behind me is just an amazing feeling. And I think, yeah, that is the one thing for me.
I love it.
Go ahead, Goth. My dog is yawning and screaming over here.
Okay, I'm curious with the whole thing, the whole direction that the AWA is going. It seems that they're only gaining more and more momentum. Like we watched the last show where it was actually like more an interpromotional thing. AWA versus another promotion in South Africa. How does that make you feel that people are now getting uh, eyeballs on two different promotions, going at each other, and like having something like the invasion that happened in WWE happened years ago with when they purchased WCW and ECW. How does that make you feel like you're wrestling another promotions, wrestlers out there, and sharing the same ring with them? How does that make you feel?
Um, I think it will make me feel happy. Why? Because now I get to experience the ring with somebody new, with somebody I don't know. Gaining that experience, which is, trying to build something that we all love, which is the sport of pro wrestling, and showing it off on the stage that we
Mm-hmm.
are. So, being part, having to work with another company would be something I am super, super, super agreeable on because, like, I don't discriminate. I mean, like, we all love professional wrestling. We all just want to show the audience that we are able to entertain them and just give them a great time.
Let me come
That's
over.
how we feel about pro
I,
wrestling.
1000%. Let me go over to chat real quick because you knew that comment about tag titles was going to draw some shit, right? Uh, Nikki Vac says, "Don't get
I'm
ahead of
just a
yours."
big
Uh,
fan
uh,
of tag team wrestling.
no. JSK's response was what drew the shit. Don't get ahead of yourself now, champ. When it comes to you and Valentino possibly leaving as the first ever tag team champions, and I love the takeover. But that match right there, Valentino and JSK versus the Takeover, I'm on the fence with that because that's now a torn moment. And
Yeah.
I believe that this is indeed Mr. Valentino. His comment on YouTube, I believe. I'm not 100% because I think it's a shoot name and I'm not dropping it. Don't get your hopes up, Goth. I thought this kid or taught this kid everything, and now he comes in here and disrespects me like this. He's not on my level, unfortunately. Great interview though, kid. I feel like that's Valentino, and if it is, welcome, sir. And if it is not, and it's somebody
You're
else,
always welcome to join us in another Beyond the Bell, sir. So.
yeah, I'd love to get your side of the story. But I do think that there's a lot of ground there. And what was so interesting about that is I really thought that one of you was going to come out as the heel, and I personally thought that it was going to be you, Rebel. However, both of you have come out of this as like massive baby faces, and it's you. What I like about it is it's almost organic. I don't think anybody could have called that. And the best shit that goes on in professional wrestling is organic. It is you don't plan it, you just roll with it. And that's a beautiful thing about the business in general is you just don't know. You don't know until you know. With 2026, like we're halfway there. There's a couple more shows coming up this year for the AWA. What's some of the things you're looking to accomplish? What's on your bucket list for the rest of 2026?
Well, the first thing that's on my bucket list is defending my AWA lightweight champion. The second thing is maybe having that match with Romeo Valentino.
There's no maybe.
You know,
It will happen.
just a baby. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Maybe becoming cruiserweight, or maybe going up to cruiserweight and taking the cruiserweight division for myself. Uh, or maybe the tag team division also as well. Becoming a double champion. That's also on my bucket list. Because Takeover, having those tag team titles, I think those tag team titles would look pretty good on my shoulder.
So there's a couple of pairings that run through my head when you say tag team wrestling that's in AWA right now. I would love to see you and Romeo come back together for a match like that. I could see you and Jay Cooper come together for a tag match like that. I could see you and McFish coming together for a tag match like that. Like there's so many different elements and ingredients there, and they'd be great fucking matches. They just would be. There'd be good stuff to see, and good stuff to see how it transitions and plays out. I've made no bones about it. I'm talking to Palazzio. I'm trying to get down there with our belt and bring our champion, who currently, well, with or without the championship, I want to bring Mims down there. Mims is signed to the National Wrestling Alliance. He's been a pro for 8 years. He's been signed for 7. So I want to bring him down there and do a seminar and let him teach you guys a little bit of the stuff that goes on over here, and do some odds and ends. We are very close to making that happen. I am just waiting on some dates that are being lined up on the AWA side, because I want it to happen when it can make sense and not fuck up anything that's going on storyline wise for you guys. Because obviously, if we come down there, we're putting him in the ring with one of you guys, so we have to make sure that it's planned out and it's done correctly. And I'm also looking at a tag team for the takeover. Like, this is real. This is happening. There are things that are moving. We're in Australia in 2027. We are signing or getting stuff situated for the UK to make a loop in the UK. We are doing some serious shit. This is not, this is real. I don't know what to tell you. From a dude who, when he turned his camera on 2.5 years ago on the independent scene to where we are now, I didn't expect any of it. But now here we are. And we are being looked at by a lot of people across the world. And that's why these conversations matter to me. It's because it's more, not necessarily, for me, it's about learning more about you, but it's also, like I said, introducing you to that audience and hoping that somebody that I am affiliated with says they see this and they're like, hey, I think he'd fit in with what we've got going on. How can we make that work? How can we make that happen? Right? That's This right here is why I love what I do. It's why I work 50 hours in the real world on a real job, and I work another 40 hours on this channel a week. It's because of moments like this. And I say that because as we start to wind things down, before we go there, Goth, let me come around to you real quick. Do you have any more questions, anything you want to ask before we head into the final segment of the show?
I'm just curious. Um, with everything that's going on, you being now the champion, there's obviously a lot of people that are gunning for that title. Um, I'm just curious, what is a match that you would love to see? I don't know what's being booked for the next show or whatever, but is there a match that you would love to put on for the people against a wrestler that you haven't wrestled before, as the champion, to just put yourself out there like I'm the champion and I want to have this title defense and put yourself over and the other opponent as well.
Before he answers that, Nikki Vex,
I know.
don't make me come for
Huh?
your title. So now,
Oh boy.
now let's get an answer.
If there's one person I would look at, it would be there's a guy that used to be part of AWA, but he left to do some other things, which is take care of a family. His name is the Good Time Kid. I would have
Okay.
loved to actually have a great match with that guy. He was a very talented wrestler, and if he's watching this, please let Uncle Sean know, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, or just go to
I
the
mean,
the Rebel JSK on Instagram and shoot him a DM. You can do that too. That's on the screen, guys. So
or
you're,
just
you're
DM
yeah,
us.
hit that follow button. Perfect segue right there. Let me ask you this, man. Like again, I say when we have these conversations, the first conversation that we have with guys when we bring them in, it's about educating. It's about putting you out there. It's about me finding those moments that where I think I can get attention drawn towards you, which is the name of the game. With the scene, it's on fire everywhere. We've just immersed ourselves in independent wrestling on every continent and have come across a lot of tremendous wrestling from all over the world. There's a lot of great companies out there. There's a lot of people that we've been able to make friends with and become affiliated with. There's a lot of affiliations that are announced. There's that much more that are not, and for reasons, right? But at the end of the day, with it being as vast as it is, and South Africa is one place. Where are some other places that are on your radar? If you could get out there and travel and get out internationally, be anywhere, where would they be? Where are some places that you are looking at if you could get that foot in the door, if you will?
Okay, I'm gonna start off with naming countries.
Sure.
So let's start with Australia, uh, England, London. Let's say Mexico, uh, United States, of course. Um, and I'm gonna name a few companies that I would like to work with, which is I think PW, or is it PWW? I think those two companies, PPW and WWP. Wait, yeah.
Okay. You say Australia. Ooh, man. There's like 13 companies in Australia, like all over Australia. We have watch parties with some of our friends in Australia and have them on the show. So Australia is not a stretch by any means. It's just a means of getting there, right? But with places also come opponents. And now thus far, there's probably people within the AWA that you would want to get a match with if you could at some point. But let's do this in two parts. Let's do this at AWA. Who are some people that you want to work with, and then outside of the AWA, who are some people that you would like to work with?
Okay, so inside the AWA, I would love to work with Johnny Palazzio, Mike Zander, what's his name? There used to be a guy that used to also wrestle with AWA. He goes by the Little Hillbilly. He's also one of the guys that I would love to have a great match with. There we have guys like Mr. Money, guys
Mm.
like Alex Desire, which is from a different company. Um, when it comes to outside of AWA, there is this guy in TNA currently signed by TNA. His name is, I think, Ricky Salsa.
Bang
Yeah, that's one of
bang.
the guys that I
Bang
would
bang.
love to go with. Ricky Salsa, we have Mike Santana, we have all the Moose, we have Eddie Edwards, we have um, what's his name? Eric Young. Yeah, Eric Young. Who else? Who else can I get? Let's say there's a guy in New Japan that I would like to face, which is Jack Saber Jr. He's
Yeah.
also one of the guys that I would love to have a match with. And I think my final person that I will name will be David Finley.
Yep. Yep. So I have
Good,
a
a good list.
oh man. I've not told anybody this. Do you guys want to? Do you want to know how close we were at one point to getting Ricky Sosa on a live event?
No.
Yeah, at Chapter 4 back in April, Sosa was supposed to be over here stateside. He had a tour that he was lined up for Mania weekend, and I guess there was an issue with travel and a visa. We were this close to having him at Chapter 4. He was going to be in the States for the full weekend, like a week and a half, if I'm not mistaken. And our show would have been on the last night in the United States would have been there, and he was going to be in Florida. We were that close to having Sosa on Chapter 4, and it would have been a last minute addition to the show itself, and nobody would have known about it. Wouldn't have advertised it. It would have just happened. And we were that close to making that happen. So when you say Ricky Sosa, I'm very familiar, and he comes from Goth's neck of the woods, and Goth keeps really close tabs on everything on that side of the world when it comes to the Netherlands. And it's not a bad thing. Belgium and Spain, and like he's me on that side of the world, right? Like that's what I want for him out of this, and that's what I hope that, you know, with Pro Wrestling Holland and some of these other places that we've gotten our foot in the door because of God. Like I want guys to start going to him too, right? Like because there's only so much time in the day, and as we progress with the channel, shit just gets busier and busier and busier and more time consuming. And I'm only one guy. I can't do everything, but we see what's happening, and some of these questions that we ask, I ask intentionally because like we do more behind the scenes than we do in front of the camera, and there are reasons for it. Like a lot of people may ask you questions like that and don't have an intention to try and back some of it up, but when you give me some of those names, brother, we do sponsorships. So like if there's an opportunity where we get somebody or we can make something happen for you, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do it. This is that you guys are a piece of why we continue to grow, right? So like as a platform, we're invested in you as much as you're invested in us. And when you guys show us all the love and all the appreciation that you do, yeah, no problem, we'll do whatever the fuck we need to. The guy gonna cost a couple $100. Let me see what the ratio is for currency. Who do I need to send it to? Like that's the shit that I'm talking about. And it's not a flex. It's just that's how you give back. You can talk about it all day long, but you got to help the scene. And if we're able to help the scene, and if that's by getting a match for you from somewhere, somebody who may not be on your TV all the time, well, fuck it, let's do it. We're in a very unique opportunity with Mims. Mims has a lot of fucking experience. Why wouldn't we try and come down there with him and in some fashion so you guys can learn from him? You know, like that. How else can you not say thank you, right? Like how can you not say, yo, this is legit. This is where we need to be. This is what's going on. And we didn't expect any of it. And it's still one of those things today that we continue to have to try and get into, right? And dig into deeper, because now we are here and now we do have the ability, and now we can really see if this platform can do what I think it can do. And it's just great. I say all that to say I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we get time. I'm grateful that you guys see what we're trying to do and are willing to do it right back without even asking questions. You were so excited when I said, "Hey, man, do you want to come on the show?" And for me, what I liked about that wasn't that you were just excited about it. It's like, man, I've just been waiting to come and talk to you guys, and I didn't know that we had that kind of reach and that kind of touch for your scene down there. Like people can say, "Oh, I'm excited about it," but you truly are, and I know that it means a lot.
Yeah,
And for
it
us,
does. It does.
it's just like, wow, this is the true power of professional wrestling. It can bring people together if you allow it to. If we work together, we can build something that's pretty fucking awesome, and we can do it together.
Definitely.
And if I'm the bridge to all that, fuck it, man. Let's go. Let's do it. Goth, what do you
Let's
got?
do it.
I'm just excited to just hear how excited people are to just have a conversation with us. But it's also funny because we have had a conversation a while ago with a Belgian tag team, VCC. Great
Fantastic
guys.
tag team.
And
Fantastic. Trying to get them to South Africa.
We would love to see them in South Africa down the road, and they were also very appreciative of what we are doing. And all that we are just doing is trying to just put them on a spot, on a platform for other people from other countries who have never heard about AWA or VCC or whatever promotional wrestler, and that we have this opportunity to do something for you guys is great. And I just cannot wait until we are going to get to South Africa, because I think I want to go over there as well. I really don't have much of a question at this point, but I just want to say Golf is planning to go to South Africa too if everything goes well. So look forward to it.
It's going to. I have faith.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's going to. It's going to. There's a lot, man. There's a lot, and for you, like I said, you've overcome personal obstacles in situations. You've got your head on straight. You're doing a lot of really good shit, and it does deserve to be acknowledged, and it does deserve to be out there for people to understand and to see. Because again, nobody's journey is the same. Everybody's walk in life is totally different. Everybody goes through trials and tribulations. It's about how you handle those trials and tribulations that determine whether or not you learn from those lessons. And while everyone's road's different, I've never asked for pity parties, because I'm a firm believer that the mistakes that we all make are directly responsible for who we become tomorrow. And if you learn from those mistakes, and I made many in my life, but all of them have turned me into who I am today. And I think today we're in a pretty good spot, and I think we're doing all right. And I can't wait to see what transpires next and how this thing plays out with you throughout the rest of 2026. I know that we're really just getting started with our relationship and all over the world, but especially with South Africa, because as we grow, now the opportunity to bring you guys in to where people can see you. That's another thing, is when it's not that I wasn't trying to bring you guys on, but as the audience wasn't there. Now it's there, and now there's proof that we're moving needles and doing some things for talents all over the world. Now is the time. Now is the place, because the audience is fucking there for it. And that's the name of the game. And there's so much more that's going to be coming. But before we get out of here, I always like to turn the floor over to you, our guest. If there's anything that you want to talk about that maybe we didn't, if there's anything that you want to plug, if there's anything that you want to put out there, the floor is absolutely yours.
Okay, so what I actually want to start off saying is thank you to you guys for what you guys have been doing for Africa and our wrestling scene, and all the other scenes that you guys have connections with. I mean, you guys are just amazing. You guys give us a platform where a lot of people can look at our product, and that is something that I can truly be grateful for. And I think that says a lot about you guys. You guys are just awesome people. I really enjoy just talking with you guys, just being here in this moment, be talking to you guys is just incredible. So thank you to you guys for what you guys have done, not only for us, but for the rest of pro wrestling, small wrestling promotions everywhere.
That's
Keep the compliments to him. He likes it.
no, I don't. I hate compliments. I don't take compliments well. Because really, I always when I get the compliments, it's not that I don't appreciate them. I do, but at the end of the day, like I'm a firm believer that we don't have any of this without the wrestlers. We don't have any of this without you guys that get in the ring, and that goes for companies as well. They don't have a company without the professional wrestlers. And kind of to piggyback off of what Goth said earlier, it's like we now have a lot of eyeballs on us, and none of us give a shit about them. So how can we utilize them? Because we would do this anyway. We would still watch it. We would still do it with or without millions of people watching us. We would still do it. But now that it's there, how do we take that? How do we flip that around and put that on you? How do we flip that and put that on companies? How do we put new shit in front of new people and hope that they do their job? And their job is simple: to follow. That's it. Go and follow. Check out what's going on, and it's a perfect segue because it's been on the screen the entire show. And in this case, it's the Rebel JSK, the underscore Rebel underscore JSK over on Instagram. Just go hit the follow button. That's all you got to do. And when content gets released, share it, because what we have found over the course of this entire platform for the last 2.5 years is you never know who is watching, when they're watching, or how they're watching, but they're watching. And if you share their content, someone else may see it. And oh my God, you have a trickle effect. That's all you have to do. Put them out there. If you're not following Goth at CCP underscore podcasting underscore Goth, go ahead. Fill his ego. He likes the follows.
Please
If you're
do.
not
Please
following
do.
us at CCP podcasting, I at this point don't understand why not, because nobody does indie wrestling like we do. We're on every continent minus Japan. Thanks, Logan Paul. But outside of that, we are rocking and rolling. Goth, what would you like to say to the people before we close it out?
I just want to say thank you all for being here. Thank you all for all the kind messages that you've sent. Even Mr. Romeo Valentino. Just kidding. I just want to say thank you all for being here, whether it's live on X, YouTube, or Twitch, or on replay on YouTube. Please keep following us. Keep following Mr. JSK. Keep following the AWA because they are incredible. And see you all for the next show.
Well, for our guest today, the Rebel himself, the light heavyweight champion of the Africa Wrestling Alliance, and for my co-host today, Goth, I am Chris Page, and we will see you next time.